Proverbs chapter 26, the folly of fools and the wisdom of discernment. Proverbs chapter 26 offers a profound reflection on human behavior, exposing the dangers of folly, laziness, deceit, and hypocrisy. The chapter strings together vivid images and sharp contrasts that guide readers toward wisdom and discernment. It teaches not only how to recognize foolish and destructive behavior but also how to respond wisely when confronted with it. The Proverbs in this chapter highlight the moral and practical consequences of foolishness and encourage the pursuit of humility, integrity, and restraint. The chapter opens with a warning about honoring fools. Just as snow in summer or rain during harvest is unnatural and harmful, it is equally unfitting to give respect or responsibility to those who lack wisdom. A fool cannot handle honor without bringing chaos upon himself and others. The verses that follow paint a series of pictures showing how foolishness manifests and why it leads to ruin. A fool is compared to an animal that must be controlled by force, emphasizing that reason and persuasion often fail where discipline is required. At the same time, the reader is told to use discernment when dealing with fools. Sometimes silence is wise to avoid sinking to their level, but other times a response is necessary to prevent them from thinking they are right. Wisdom is found in knowing which course to take. The Proverbs also warn that trusting a fool with important tasks or wise sayings is pointless and even dangerous. Giving responsibility or authority to a fool is like tying a stone into a sling. It will come back and cause harm. Ultimately, the fool's defining trait is his inability to learn from mistakes. Like a dog returning to its vomit, he repeats his folly. Even worse is the person who thinks himself wise, for pride blinds him more completely than ignorance ever could. The chapter then turns its attention to the lazy, describing him with biting humor. The sluggard invents ridiculous excuses to avoid work, such as claiming there is a lion in the street. He turns on his bed like a door on its hinges, moving but going nowhere. His laziness is so extreme that he cannot even lift food to his mouth. The picture is both comical and tragic, showing how idleness leads to absurd self-destruction. Worse still, the lazy man believes he is wiser than others, refusing advice and defending his inactivity as wisdom. The lesson is that laziness dulls both mind and spirit, leaving a person trapped in endless excuses and self-deception. Following this, Proverbs 26 warns against those who meddle in matters that do not concern them and those who deceive others. Interfering in someone else's conflict is compared to grabbing a dog by the ears, a sure way to get bitten. Likewise, a person who deceives his neighbor and later claims he was only joking is likened to a madman hurling dangerous weapons at random. These images show that reckless words and actions, even when disguised as humor, can bring serious harm. The Proverbs that follow explain that gossip and contentiousness are like fuel to a fire. Remove them, and conflict dies out. The gossip's words may seem delicious to the listener, but they sink deep and do lasting damage. This passage exposes how easily human speech can destroy peace, showing that wisdom often lies in silence and self-control. The final section of the chapter addresses hypocrisy and deceit. It describes those who hide hatred behind flattering words and a pleasant demeanor. Their smooth speech is compared to cheap pottery covered with a thin layer of silver to make it look valuable. Though deceit may succeed temporarily, it cannot remain hidden forever. Sooner or later, the truth will come to light. The chapter closes with a reminder of divine justice. Those who plot harm against others will find their own schemes turned against them. The one who digs a pit for someone else will fall into it himself, and the one who rolls a stone to injure another will have it roll back upon him. False speech and flattery ultimately destroy both the deceiver and the deceived, for they are rooted in hatred rather than love. Altogether, Proverbs 26 serves as a mirror that reflects the folly and corruption of the human heart. It exposes the fool who repeats mistakes, the lazy person who refuses to act, the gossip who spreads strife, and the hypocrite who conceals malice under a mask of kindness. Each character embodies a form of self-deception that leads to ruin. The wisdom of this chapter lies in its realism. It understands how easily people fall into these patterns and how costly they become. Its ultimate call is for discernment, humility, and integrity. To live wisely is to recognize folly for what it is, avoid its traps, and conduct oneself with restraint, truthfulness, and reverence for God.
Chapter 26. As snow in summer and rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a flitting sparrow, like a flying swallow, so a curse without cause shall not alight. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the fool's back. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. He who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off his own feet, and drinks violence. Like the legs of the lame that hang limp is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Like one who binds a stone in a sling is he who gives honor to a fool. Like a thorn that goes into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. The great God who formed everything gives the fool his hire, and the transgressor his wages. As a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. The lazy man says, There is a lion in the road, a fierce lion is in the streets. As a door turns on its hinges, so does the lazy man on his bed. The lazy man buries his hand in the bowl. It wearies him to bring it back to his mouth. The lazy man is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly. He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a dog by the ears. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. Where there is no wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no tale-bearer, strife ceases. As charcoal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a tale-bearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost body. Fervent lips with a wicked heart are like earthenware covered with silver dross. He who hates disguises it with his lips, and lays up deceit within himself. When he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and he who rolls a stone will have it roll back on him. A lying tongue hates those who are crushed by it, and a flattering mouth works ruin.